Sami Zayn just told Adam Pearce to his face. No more shenanigans, no more funny business. And Pearce looked him dead in the eyes, said absolutely nothing meaningful back, and walked away to go check on Nick Aldis. And if you think that's just a throwaway backstage moment that means nothing, think again. Because the man who just got told, take it or leave it, by the acting GM of both shows is the same man who was WWE Champion 18 days ago. And that kind of humiliation doesn't just evaporate quietly before SummerSlam. What's good, tidal wave? And welcome to the most underrated powder keg building inside WWE right now. Because while everyone is screaming about Punk versus Rhodes and whether Roman Reigns is secretly coming back, the slow burn story that could detonate the entire SummerSlam card is sitting right there in a hallway segment most people fast-forwarded through. Sami Zayn has been the most consistently wronged man in WWE for the better part of 6 months, which is impressive because being the most wronged person in a business built entirely on people getting wronged is genuinely an achievement. So here's the philosophical question worth chewing on before we dive in. When the last real good guy finally decides good guys finish last, who in that locker room is actually safe? Let's lay out exactly what's confirmed from July 24th SmackDown in Oakland, because the details here matter more than people are giving them credit for. After the chaos of the Gunther and Aldis contract signing, Sami Zayn came out hot, confronted Adam Pearce directly, and made his case that he deserved to be in the WWE Championship picture at SummerSlam. His argument was airtight and he knew it. He held the title for 9 days before losing it under circumstances he had zero control over. The moment Rhodes was taken out by Gunther, WWE handed his replacement spot to CM Punk without a tournament, without a qualifier, without Punk even having to ask nicely. Zayn called Rhodes the Golden Boy and Punk corporate poster boy number 2. Furious that both men seemingly had championship opportunities fall out of the sky while he had to scratch and claw for every single thing he ever got, he demanded Pearce make the SummerSlam title match a triple threat. Pearce told him the one-on-one match was locked in, offered him a no-1 contenders match against the winner of the Fatal 4-Way, and when Zayn pushed back, Pearce shut it down cold. Take it or leave it. And here's the detail that is sitting right in plain sight and nobody is talking about enough. When Pearce walked away to check on Aldis, Zayn told him to give Aldis his regards, and then stood there and pounded his fist on the trainer's room door. That's not a man who accepted his situation. That's a man who said the words, "I'll take it," while every single piece of his body language was screaming something completely different. Sami Zayn agreed to the terms with his mouth and rejected them entirely with everything else, and Pearce either didn't notice or didn't care. Both of those options are a problem. Now, before we go any further, if this breakdown is connecting dots you haven't seen anyone else connect, smash that like button and get locked into the Tidal Wave family right now. Because the history between Sami Zayn and WWE authority figures is a whole pattern on its own, and understanding that pattern is the only way to understand where this is actually heading. Here's what the internet wrestling community is getting completely wrong about this storyline. The popular read right now is that Zayn reluctantly accepted his situation, will go out and beat Finn Balor in the no-1 contenders match at SummerSlam, and everything resolves cleanly into a future title shot after the summer. That's the optimistic, surface-level read, and it ignores everything Zayn has been saying on the microphone for months. Zayn directly accused both Aldis and Pearce of never wanting him as WWE Champion, pointing out that he had to defend the title on a show he wasn't even a regular part of, while Rhodes was back as #1 contender within days of losing his own belt. That's not a man who's going to quietly wrestle Finn Balor, shake hands, and wait his turn. That's a man building a legitimate, months-long grievance against the entire authority structure of SmackDown, and that grievance just got one more layer added on top of it in Oakland. And here's the part that should make everyone genuinely nervous heading into Minneapolis. Zayn's exact words were, "No more shenanigans, no more surprises, no more funny business." Spoken directly to the face of the man running both shows simultaneously, who also personally wrote the contract terms for a match involving his own colleague, who also has every professional reason in the world to want things to go a very specific way at SummerSlam. When the last real good guy feels the need to issue a formal warning to the acting authority figure of WWE, that's not confidence talking. That is a man who already suspects something is coming and is trying to get ahead of it before the bell rings in Minneapolis. Let's talk about Sami Zayn's psychology here, because this is the whole engine of everything that could go wrong at SummerSlam. This is a man whose entire character is built on being the underdog who wins through heart, timing, and doing the right thing even when every system around him is working against him. But there's a version of that character that gets pushed too far, that watches the Golden Boys get handed opportunities one too many times, that looks at the take it or leave it of a man who holds all the power and decides the only way to actually win is to stop playing by their rules entirely. Zayn has a documented history of being told there's no place for him, then going out and physically making his own place. He punched his way into WrestleMania when Aldis told him there was no room, and he's done it repeatedly across different championship scenes. A man with that history, sitting across from an authority figure who just cold-shouldered his most legitimate championship grievance ever, is not a man who's going to simply nod and go home. So here is what this entire story is really building toward, and it's bigger than just Sami Zayn versus Finn Balor. If Pearce or anyone connected to him interferes in the Zayn and Balor No. 1 Contenders match at SummerSlam, Zayn's warning becomes a prophecy. His take it or leave it moment becomes the origin story of the biggest heel turn, or the most justified babyface explosion in WWE in years, and every single complaint he's been making on the microphone for 6 months gets validated in the most violent way possible inside that arena in Minneapolis. The groundwork is laid, the match is booked, the warning has been issued, and Adam Pearce is running the whole show with zero oversight. Sami Zayn told the most powerful man in WWE exactly what would happen if he got burned one more time, and Adam Pearce smiled and walked away. So tell me, is Pearce about to prove Zayn right and torch the last real good guy for the last time? Or is Sami Zayn the one who finally snaps and burns it all down himself? Drop your answer in the comments right now. Next video is going to detonate even harder than this one. This has been Tidal Wave. Ride the wave.